So in this video, we are going to learn how to add Paytm payment details in Google Sheets. So if you are using Paytm to collect the payments for your business from your customer, this automation is going to help you a lot. So in this automation, whenever we are going to receive a new payment from the customers in Paytm, automatically we are going to add the details of that payment in our Google Sheets. In this way, you can have a complete record of all the payments which you are receiving on Paytm in Google Sheets itself. Now, if you want to know how you can set up this kind of automation for yourself, for that you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, this is my Paytm for Business account. Now, whenever I'm going to receive a new payment from a customer on my Paytm business account, Paytm is automatically going to send me an email notification with the received payment details. And from this email, we are going to extract the details of the payment and add those details in our Google Sheet over here. Now to do this, we are going to use an automation and integration platform called Pabbly Connect. So here you can see we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. After coming to Pabbly Connect, here we have to create an automation workflow, and to do so, click on this Create Workflow button and give this workflow a name. So I'm going to name my workflow as Paytm Payment Details to Google Sheets. So you can basically give any name of your choice. Then select the folder of your Pabbly Connect account in which you want to create this automation and click on Create. And as you click on Create, here you can see the automation workflow is open over here. Now in this workflow, you can see two different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's get started with our trigger step. And here in our trigger step, we are going to select a feature, a module of Pabbly Connect called Email Parser. Now after selecting Email Parser, Pabbly Connect gave us an email address over here. Now to get the payment details which we are receiving on our Paytm account, we are going to forward all the emails from Paytm which we are receiving on our email address to this Pabbly Connect through this email parser email address. So that whenever we receive a new payment on Paytm, automatically we are going to receive the details of that payment in our Gmail account as an email. And we are going to forward the same email received from Paytm to Pabbly Connect. After receiving the email with the payment details, we are going to extract the details of the payment in our Pabbly Connect workflow and we are going to add those details in our Google Sheets. So let's see how it is done. After selecting Email Parser by Pabbly in the trigger step, what we have to do, we have to add this email in our Gmail account and forward the Paytm emails to this email address. And to do this, we have to follow the instructions given below over here. Just copy this email address from here and go to your Gmail account. After coming to Gmail account, go to Settings and go to See All Settings. Under Settings section, you can see this option of Forwarding and POP/IMAP. Just go here and at top you can see this option of forwarding. Click on this Add a Forwarding Address and paste the exact same email address which Pabbly Connect gave us and click on Next. After clicking on Next, this pop-up will appear in front of us and it is going to ask us to verify or re-enter our Google account credentials. So what we are going to do, we are just going to verify our Google account over here. And it is done. So just now I verified my Google account and here in this pop-up, it is asking us proceed or cancel. Just click on this proceed button and it is done. We have successfully added a forwarding address in our Gmail account and Gmail team has sent an email confirmation to this email address. Now, as I told you, all the emails sent on this email parser email address are received inside our Pabbly Connect workflow. And here you can see in the trigger step response, we have received a response. Now in this response, you can see on this email address, on this email parser email address, we have received an email from Gmail team. And this is regarding to the verification of the email forwarding which we have just now added. And when we will scroll down, you can see all the details of this received email are here in the response. Out of all of this, here you can see there's a response named as body text. And in this response, you can see the actual body of the email which we have received over here. Now here in this body, you will see a link. As you can see, this is a confirmation link. We have to just copy this confirmation link from this email body response and open it in a new tab over here. After opening it, it is asking us for the confirmation that do we want to confirm to receive emails from this email address. So once we click on confirm, the confirmation is done, the confirmation is successfully completed. And after completing this confirmation, now whenever we are going to receive a new email on our Gmail account, automatically all of those emails will be forwarded to Pabbly Connect, and this automation workflow will trigger for each and every email. But right now we have a condition, and the condition is we only want to forward the emails which we are receiving from Paytm of the payment details. So what we are going to do on the basis of sender's email. So every time we are going to receive the email from Paytm from this particular email address. So we are going to add a filter in this forwarding in such a way that only the Paytm emails will be forwarded to Pabbly Connect and rest of the emails will not be sent to Pabbly Connect workflow. So what we are going to do, we will just go to settings once again, go to see all settings, and before forwarding, here you can see these options of filters and blocked addresses. Just go here and click on this create a new filter button. Then after clicking on create, in this pop-up in front of from, just paste the exact same email address, the Paytm email address, and click on create filter. After clicking on create filter, we can see there are multiple options. Out of all of this, we are going to select this option of forward it to, and here in the drop down you can see the exact same email address, exact same forwarding address which we have just now added in our Gmail account can be seen. So from this drop down, just select the exact same email address, PC may look email parser email address, and click on create filter. Now when we click on create filter, here you can see this filter condition is added, and we have to once again verify our Google account. Just click on continue, and after clicking on continue, just verify your Google account once again over here, and the verification is done. So we have just now added an email forwarding in our Gmail account, and we have forwarded only the emails which we are receiving from Paytm of the payment details with the received payment details to Pabbly Connect. So after this, whenever we are going to receive a new payment on our Paytm business account, automatically we are going to receive an email for the payment, and the same email will be received inside Pabbly Connect as well. So let's check it. What we are going to do, we will just click on this recapture response button over here. And it has now changed to waiting for email parser response. This means Pabbly Connect is waiting to get a forwarding email from our Gmail account. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to receive a payment from some other account. I'm going to make a test payment, a dummy payment on my Paytm for business account over here. And yes, here you can see just now I have received a new payment on my Paytm for business account. So here you can see on my Paytm dashboard, you can see just now I've received a new payment of 100 rupees, and then I have received an email notification for the same payment as well. So we have the amount of the payment which we have received, we have the amount of the payment in words, and then we have the customer details that which customer made the payment. And after that, you can see some access in this customer details that the customer details are partially hidden. Then here you can see the name of your account, your Paytm business account on which you have received the payment. Then we have the date and time, that at what date and time we received the payment, and also we have the order ID. And because we have added forwarding for Paytm emails in our Gmail account, we will see in our Pabbly Connect workflow in this trigger step as well, we have received some response. And in this response, you can see we have received the response of an email received from Paytm. We will scroll down, and the subject line of this email is ₹100 paid at this particular date and time. So here you can see this is the exact same subject line of this email as well. Then after that, you can see in our Pabbly Connect workflow, we will scroll down and we will go to the email body section. And here under email body, under body text, in this response of body text, we have the complete body of the email as well. So here you can see this is the complete body of the email which we have received. And in this email body, we have the payment details as well. Like the first information that we have of this payment in this email is the amount of the payment. So after payment received, we have the amount of the payment as 100 rupees. And in this email body response, you can see after payment received, we have 100 over here. This is the code for the rupee symbol which we have received over here. Then after that, you can see the amount of the payment written in words. So we have the payment of ₹100 only. Then after that, we can see we have from over here. So in this email body section, you can see we have from user details, that from which user we have received the payment details over here. Then after that, here you can see we have our own account name over here. So here you can see we have our own account name. Then we have date and time, that at what date and time this payment was received, and then we have the order ID as well. So the same order ID which we have received in our email, you can see the same order ID over here in Pabbly Connect workflow as well. So in this way, every email which Paytm is going to send us with the payment details of a received payment, the same email will be received inside Pabbly Connect. So the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed, where we have received the emails from our Gmail account in our Pabbly Connect workflow with the received payment details on our Paytm business account. Now after this, what we have to do? We have to move to step 2. And in step 2, we have to extract the details. So here you can see we have this email in a cluttered format. The details are not very clear in this email. Now, one by one, we are going to extract all the details. We are going to extract the amount of the payment. We are going to extract the amount in words. Then we have to extract the details of the customer who made the payment. Then we are going to extract the date and time and also the order ID. So one by one, we are going to extract all of these details from this response of body text. And to extract the details of the payment from this email body, we are going to use a feature, a module of Pabbly Connect called Text Formatter. So just scroll down, come to this action step, and here in Choose App, search for Text Formatter. Just select it. After selecting Text Formatter by Pabbly, in Action Event from the drop-down, select the action event as Text Parser, and then just click on Connect. And after selecting Text Parser, the first thing it asks us is the text. That what is the text? What is the response from which we want to parse some text, some content? So here in this response of text, we have to map the response of the email body which we have received in trigger step. So here from trigger responses of email parser of a new email which we have received from our Gmail account, we are going to map this response of body text. And the process of mapping is very simple. Simply come to this text formatter action step and click on this field of text. And here in the drop down, you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from email parser, basically from Gmail. And out of all of these responses, select this response of body text and it will be mapped. In this way, whatever email we are going to receive over here from Paytm of a new payment being received, using text parser, we are going to basically parse the exact same email. Now, after mapping the text, it is asking us text match after and text match before. So what is this? Let's read the help text. Enter the text after which you want to extract a string. For space, you can use space in double curly braces. And text match before is enter the text before which you want to extract the string. So we have to enter the text before and text after of the content which we want to extract. So here you can see in the trigger step responses, we have this response, we have this email, and from this email, the first information that we want to extract is the amount of the payment. So we have the amount of the payment after payment received and before rupee. So after payment received and before rupee, these two things are the constant. These two things will not change in every email which we are going to receive. We are going to have payment received written like this before the amount, and we are going to have rupee written like this before the amount. So we are going to use payment received as the text match after, because we want to get the text, we want to get the string after payment received. And in text match before, we are going to write rupee because we want to get the string, we want to get the content before this word rupee in the email body, in this complete text. So let's do it. We'll scroll down, come to this text formatter step, and here in text match after, we are going to write payment received. So as you can see, payment received over here. So let's write it. Payment received. And after that, we are going to write rupee in text match before. So we have written rupee in text match before, and click on save and send test request. Now when we click on save and send test request, here you can see we have received this response. And in this response, you can see we have received the response as ₹100. So we have ₹100 written after payment received. After text match after, we have ₹100, and before text match before, we have ₹100 over here. So that text, that particular string is extracted. So in this way, from the email body which we have received from Paytm, we have successfully extracted the amount of the payment in numbers. And similarly, using the same text format, using the same text parser action step, we are going to extract the other details as well. So after this, we want to extract the amount of the payment in words. So after rupee, we have written 100, and it is written before only. So text match after will be rupee. So because we want to extract this amount in words which is written after rupee and before only. So in the next step of text formatter, we are going to extract that. So we have to use this exact same step of text formatter. So we are going to clone it. Just click on these three dots and click on this clone step button. And after cloning it, you can see the exact same clone of this action step will be added over here below that. Here the text is already mapped, but here in text match, what we have to do, we have to change it. We have to write something else in front of it. So we are going to just clear these two responses and we are going to write rupee over here. Rupee, and then in text match before, we are going to write only and click on save and send test request. So after clicking on save and send test request, here you can see we have received the response written as 100. So here you can see in the email body, we have the amount of payment in words after rupee and before only. So we have extracted that. Now after this, the next thing which you can see after from, the name of the person, the customer details who made the payment are written after from and before in account. So from will be our text match up because we want to extract the text after from, and text match before will be in account because we want to get the text before in account. So let's do it. Once again, we are going to clone the exact same action step of text formatter. Let's clone this step, but the text match after and text match before is going to change. So we already have the text mapped over here, text body text map over here, text match after and text match before are going to change. So our text match after was from. So we have written from, and our text match before over here was in account. So we have written it and click on save and send test request. After clicking on save and send test request, here you can see we have the details of the customer from which we have received the payment. Now after customer details, what we want to do, the next information that we want to extract is the date over here. This is the date which we want to extract. So date is after our business name. So this is my business name over here and it is before written order ID. So we want to extract the text which is written before order ID and after our business name. So Akash Belkar, this is my Paytm business account name, my business name. So what we have to do, we are going to write our business name in text match after and we are going to write order ID in this way in text match before. So we'll scroll down, clone this text formatter step once again, and because using this cloning feature, we don't have to add a new action step every time. You can just clone the previous step, and then here in text match after, I'm going to write my business name, my Paytm business account name, and in text match before, I'm going to write order over here and click on save and send test request. Now after clicking on save and send test request, here you can see we have the date and time, that at what date and time this payment was received. So in this way, from this body text of the email which we have received from Paytm, we have extracted all of these details. Now the last thing which we want to extract is the order ID. So order ID is written after order ID colon and before for any assistance. So what we are going to do, we are going to use this order ID colon as the text match after in the text formatter step and for any assistance as the text match before in the text formatter step. So let's clone this previous action step once again of text formatter and then let's change the text match after and text match before. So we'll just scroll down. Here in text match after, we are going to write order ID colon and in text match before, we are going to paste this over here for any assistance and click on save. So using this text formatter, one by one, we have extracted all the details of the received payment which we have received in the email from Paytm. So we have this order ID in response over here. So in this way, using the text formatter feature of Pabbly Connect multiple times, we have extracted all the details of the payment which we have received on our Paytm business account from this email body content. Now, after extracting all of these details, what we have to do, we have to add all of these details in our Google Sheet as well. So for that, just click on this add action step button over here. And this time here in choose app, we are going to search for Google Sheets. Just select it. After selecting Google Sheets in action event from the drop down, select the action event as add new row. Then just click on connect and select add new connection. Now here we have to connect our Google Sheets account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this sign in with Google button and then select your Google Sheets account. After selecting your account, just scroll down and click on continue. And as we click on continue, we will see our Google Sheets account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the next thing it asks us is to select the spreadsheet. And here in this drop down, you can see a list of all the spreadsheets which we have created in our Google Sheets account. Out of all of this, the spreadsheet in which I want to add the Paytm payment details is named as Paytm Payments. So from this drop down, we are going to select the same spreadsheet in which we want to add the details. After selecting spreadsheet, it is asking us to select the sheet. Now here in this Google spreadsheet, I have only one sheet named as sheet 1. That's why by default, it is showing us only one sheet named as sheet 1 in the dropdown. But it is most likely possible that in your Google spreadsheet, you might have created multiple sheets. And you will see a list of all the sheets in this dropdown. So select the sheet in which you want to add these details. After selecting the sheet, here you can see a list of all the columns of data which we have created in our Google Sheets can be seen over here in Pabbly Connect as field. So using text formatter, one by one, we have extracted all the details of the payment received on Paytm Business over here. So one by one, we are going to map all of these details into their respective field. So the first column that we have is of date and time. So here is the first field of date and time. So using text formatter, we have extracted the date and time, that at what date and time the payment was received. So from the drop down from text formatter response, we are going to map the response of date and time which we have extracted. Then we have the field of order ID over here. We have the column of order ID. So using the text formatter for the last time, we have received the response of order ID. So we are going to map the order ID over here. Now here in from, we are going to enter the details of the customer who made the payment. So let's map the details of the customer. In amount, we are going to map the amount of the payment in numbers over here. And then in amount in words, we are going to map the response of amount in words over here. So in this way, all the details which we have extracted using text formatter of the payment which we have received on our Paytm account, one by one, we have mapped all of these details into their respective fields of this Google Sheets action step. And after mapping all of these details, just click on Save and Send Test Request. Now when we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the details which we have mapped over here, basically the details of the payment which we have received on our Paytm account from this email, all of these details are now added as a new row in Google Sheets. So let's check it. We will go to our Google Sheet and yes, here you can see all the details of this payment are now added as a new row. You can see the date and time of the payment, that at what date and time the payment was received. You can see the order ID over here. You can see from which user, from which customer we have received this payment. You can see the amount of the payment and you can see the amount of the payment in words as well. So all the details of the received payment which we have received on email, all of these details are added in Google Sheet as a new row. So this means the automation workflow which we have created using Pabbly Connect, this automation is working perfectly fine, using which whenever we are going to receive a new payment on our Paytm business account, automatically the details of that payment will be added as a new row in Google Sheets. In this way, you can automatically create a record of all the UPI payments which you are receiving. Now after setting up this automation, we are going to test this automation workflow once. So I'm going to make another payment on my Paytm business account and we are going to test this automation in real time. Okay, so here you can see just now I have received a payment of 149 rupees on my Paytm business account and we have received the email for the same payment as well. Now as this payment is received, we will see the details of this exact same payment will be added in Google Sheets. And yes, here you can see in Google Sheet, we have the exact same date and time, that at what date and time the payment was received. We have the order ID of the same payment which we have received, as you can see over here in the email. You can see from ID that from which customer, from which user we have received the payment. You can see the same amount, 149 rupees, and you can see the same amount in words as well. This means the automation workflow which we have created using Pabbly Connect, this automation is working perfectly fine. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, you will find the clone link of this exact same automation workflow in the description box below. So you don't have to create this whole automation workflow by yourself. You can just click on this clone link and clone the workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this automation for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can email us at support@pabbly.com or post it on our forum over here. Or you can write us in the comment box below too. If you want to check out the pricing of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this link. And if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Pabbly. So this is it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.